audible, sir?
Yes, it is.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bhairavi here. I'm presenting the title of my presentation is Adoption of Precision Agriculture for Sustainable Paddy Crop. The objective is to understand farmers' perspective on policy support in Punjab. Now, the research objective was we wanted to examine the challenges which are faced by the farmer in growing rice using the sustainable agricultural practices, and what is the perception towards adoption of precision agriculture for the conventional growers who are using the conventional methods and are not concerned about the sustainability of their paddy cultivation. And we also wanted to understand what is their perception towards the institutional support and the market infrastructure in terms of their behavioral intention to adopt these sustainable practices. Needless to highlight the importance of sustainable agriculture, as Dr. Karna and Dr. Kumar already has talked about it, that how the population pressure is rising day by day, and we need to have sustainable production as well as sustainability of our resources. So the three basic pillars of sustainability are economic viability, environmental safety, and more importantly social acceptance, because the key agent here is the farmer who will be bringing in this environmental safety and also reach the economic viability. This also aligns with the sustainable development goals of UN, directly connecting with the second sustainable development goal, the zero hunger. As scientist Paul Baldwin said, that we cannot choose between growth and sustainability, we must have both. So we have seen the era of green revolution, which started in India from Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu. It was a huge success. But in the hindsight, we can see, though it was great for that times, but it was commodity centered. And now it is high time that we move on from green revolution to evergreen revolution, which is more farming system centered. So we have to look at bringing sustainability in our agriculture. My topic is related to rice. So this slide speaks about the statistics related to rice, like how this is the staple diet of 3.5 billion people, and 90% of its consumption is happening in South Asia. It is a livelihood for 1.5 billion people. China is the largest producer with 27% of the world share. India being the second one with 22.9% of the world share. Not only that, it has a huge contribution in terms of export revenue as well. Punjab is a big state, which is a big state in the sense of contributing to the central treasury historically, though right now the agricultural growth is and production in Punjab is also seeing a little stagnation, it's reaching a plateau. So the acreages is 7% of India, and the production of rice in Punjab is 11% of the country, which is also 2.5% of the global contribution. So in terms of yield, it is 160% of India. But there are concerns as well. The concern is about the sustainability. And why we are bringing sustainability over here is that the data reflects that there is degradation of soil, there is receding groundwater, there is highest fertilizer consumption, highest pesticide consumption, heavy mechanization. Then there is this biggest issue of paddy residue these days that we are suffering, and smoke is really burning up the capital as well. So, despite all these things, and the talks of diversification happening for long, we are seeing that farmers are showing not a great trend towards sustainability. So, hence, we are looking at exploring this topic. Now, there are many methods of reaching the sustainability. Over here, I have taken two major approaches. One is the technocentric approach, wherein we are looking at using all the modern technologies, and there is this agroecological ecocentric affair, wherein the traditional methods of green farming, which farmers also call as kudrati kheti, and largely aligned to not using agrochemicals. So these are the two approaches which could be taken into account when we are assessing the farmers and whether or not they are using these technologies. Now, the title of my topic, as I stated, is about assessing farmers' perspective Punjab has been known as the granary of country. But the concern is that of late there is dwindling agricultural growth rate and the declining ecosystem. The contribution of rice production is 11%, though the land is only 1.5%, and this has been possible only because of green revolution, which in quotes has been possible due to the tremendous policy support provided under the green revolution aspect. So there was an environment of full support from seed to the sale to the farmer because the hybrid seeds were provided. And not only that, the market infrastructure was established in such a way that we can see that till now in Punjab we have assured procurement and a minimum support price, and the Punjabi farmer takes pride in this aspect, and is also the main reason of better economic condition of farmers of Punjab. But the concern is the deep impact on the resources now. There is excessive groundwater usage, enormous agrochemical usage, and there is falling profitability due to rising input costs. And farmers are still to the same methods which were used during green revolution time. They are not adopting the new technologies or the better ways of farming when it comes to rice. Now, to do this study, I have taken an approach of qualitative research method. Scheduled interviews were conducted with the farmers of Punjab. Now, the farmer profile that we took was, of course, the kind of farmer, A, who are in a way trying to adopt one or the other kind of sustainable practices, and the second was those set of farmers who are not using these technologies. Now, the theoretical base for my study was taken from decomposed country by Taylor and Todd. The findings suggest that the farmers have a deep trust issue with the market forces, and having gained their having benefited from the previous green revolution era, they still pose full faith in the government initiatives. And there is absolutely great lack of knowledge and awareness regarding the latest technology solutions. There has been instances where farmers had no clue what actually precision agriculture technology is, which is contrary to the fact that how Punjab is seen as a great agricultural state. It was really startling to hear that farmers are not aware about these variable technologies wherein they could use the inputs only as much as are required. And there was lack of proper market structure that credits the merit of sustainable crop. Now, please understand it from the perspective that because the farmers of Punjab, they have an assured procurement, and the procurement agencies, when they are procuring their crop, they are not concerned whether the crop has come from sustainable methods or has come from the conventional methods. So the farmers do not see any merit in the sustainable methods of farming in terms of when it comes to their economic benefit or profitability. So that is why they are saying that they understand that there are issues with the way they are growing rice right now, but they are saying they can take it only if the government support is there. In addition, the state agricultural universities and the extension services, they need to up their game and bring awareness and bring farmers closer to the sustainable aspects of the farming. So the research design was qualitative exploratory. Both kind of farmers were used, who were using conventional as well as the sustainable practices. Sampling technique was purposive because we were looking at reaching out to those set of farmers who are actually doing sustainable farming or who are, and primarily who are doing the farming themselves. So sample size was 12 because from 9th farmer onward the data started getting saturated. So that is why the sample size we have taken for this qualitative interview saturated at 12. So data collection was through the interviews and the data analysis was done through the MaxQA software. So this was the process that I followed for this thing. First, I did the extensive literature review, and we tried to find out the different variables and the critical and the very characteristic adaptation decomposed theory of Taylor and Todd. And then we prepared a conceptual model. Interviews were conducted. Then the data and all the script of the data was analyzed through the MaxQA, and the findings were again validated through the literature review. And and a revised conceptual model was created. This was the model that we had from the literature, the decomposed theory of planned behavior by Taylor and Todd, which stated that attitude, perceived behavior control, and the normative issues lead towards the behavioral intention. And these attitude, perceived behavior control, and the normative issues, they have further been decomposed into the various aspects. This is the interview schedule, the questions that were asked to the farmers. The farmer profile, as I stated, it was purpose sampling technique. 12 farmers who had an operational land holding ranging from 2 acres to 10 acres and who were engaged in rice farming for the last 4 to 5 years. And the interviews were done through the telephone code due to the pandemic. Average time taken in each interview was around 35 minutes. The shortest interview was 20 minutes and the longest went up to 85 minutes. And it was also observed that the shortest interview were with those farmers who are using conventional methods. And the farmers who are using sustainable method, they had more to share in terms of the problems they were facing and also in terms of the passion that, despite the problems, the passion that they had for this sustainable methods. Now, the sustainable practices which are already being used in Punjab, some of these are natural farming, the traditional farming technique, or the organic farming which is certified, or participatory green scheme under that, and also the low chemical, where farmers say that we try to use as little agrochemicals as possible. The data analysis. Now, since we used a deductive approach-based code system, we found out that profitability was the major aspect that farmers were concerned about. The words that you see in red are the aspects on which farmers had concern, that there's lack of exclusive market, or they have processing concerns, or doing farming through the sustainable methods is very, very time intensive. So all the codes were, all these scripts were devised certain codes. These codes were again reassessed using farmers' context, and then the code categories were created, which were in alignment with the variables that we had from the literature. And then those categories were defined into unique themes for our research. So next you see these slides are a little busy slides because this is how the codes came, which were converted into code categories, and we were arriving at the unique themes. So finally we had 65 code categories, leading to 27 unique themes and 11 emerging variables. Now of these 11 emerging variables, the 3 things that we found which were over and above the conceptual model that we had started with. One was the pro-environmental values that the farmer had, that his own personal belief about the nature and his willingness to adopt it, irrespective or not, if it brought him some benefits or profitability. And the other 2 aspects were the institutional support and the market infrastructure. So farmer time and again went on to say that if the government allows, if I have the availability, if the government gives us better rate for the sustainable crop, or if there is market available to 2 themes that we found out through this research, they were again validated using the literature review, that how historically or how the academia already agrees with or doesn't agree with the given themes. So there was alignment in much of the research that we found out. So there was a proposed, the conceptual model was revised, and in this, some of the components of the original model, they were dropped and the new ones were added. Now the new one was added was new environmental paradigm, that is farmers' own belief in supporting the farmers for sustainable agriculture. And this model, I'm looking at it. This was the first phase of my research. I'm looking at validating this research through quantitative, descriptive research again, where we'll be taking out the results of this, creating a survey, and reaching out to the farmers, to the larger audience, and validate to them that whether they align with the findings of this research. So that's all from my side. It's open to the forum for the questions.
Thank you, Bhairav. they're suspicious of what? You said market forces. Could you elaborate on that? And then, if that is the case, the dichotomy, how do you think that should be addressed?
Sir, I didn't get your question about the market forces, but what was the question? I couldn't hear it properly.
One of your slides says farmers have full faith in the government, but they suspect.
Yes.
They suspect. What do they suspect?
The market forces. Yes.
That's what I said. That's what
yes.
I said.
Right, sir. So it is coming from the fact that because what is happening is right now the entire procurement of wheat and rice from Punjab is to the government forces. So if ever the private players they come into the picture, the farmers suspect them. They doubt that the minimum support price that they are able to get right now because of the government agencies, that will go away if the market forces come into the picture. And also there is not there are not many private players or any processing units or big farmer processing opportunities over here in Punjab. They are not functional over here. Whereas it should be, considering how enterprising the Punjabi farmers are. It is not available. So hence that is the concern that they do not trust the market forces. And also previously some corporates have tried to do some contract farming in Punjab, wherein Punjab farmers have not found their experience very good. So that is why there's trust issues that they have with the private players.
But the central issue here is sustainable agriculture. Do they have adequate
yes.
knowledge? And how do you, if not, then how do you ensure adequate knowledge of what sustainable agriculture actually is?
Oh, well, sir, because what is happening is they are able to see that right now the electricity is free. They are able to see that there is, because the questionnaire had question about, what is, when they started the farming, when they were kids, what was groundwater level, what is the level now. So they are able to see that, so they understand the impact of climate change, how the temperature is rising, how the rain patterns are erratic. They are able to see that. And they are able to see that it is not sustainable because the data is across that within 17 years, the groundwater level in Punjab will finish to do any kind of agriculture if the method of farming is not changed. So everybody says that, but having said that, they are waiting for someone else to tell the cat actually. So that is the, the paradox actually, with the farmers. They see that, they should not be, burning the residue, but they are doing so. So they understand sustainability, but I think if you want exactly way, how do we green revolution time because now?
I have a little evidence here. Rice and wheat being the most water-intensive crops, and Punjab being the what you call granary, focusing mostly on these two extremely water-intensive crops. Is it not just a dream to shift them to sustainable agriculture? The only option then would be to ask them to switch from these two to any others which are less water-intensive. But
correct, sir. You're very right, sir. And actually since 1985 onwards, the talks about diversification are happening. But our policies are in contrast to that. Because rice and wheat gets them economic benefit, they're not switching over. If we need to have them switch over from this to other methods, then we have to provide economic benefit for other crops. That is one. And in Punjab, we have GI indicator for basmati. So Punjab, we can look at that. We do not grow the Pusa variety or the variety which is like long variety. We grow short variety. We grow basmati, or we do only the qualitative, organic basmati. So that kind of method can be created or can be popularized amongst the farmers, and in addition to diversifying to other crops.
Alright, the solution lies elsewhere then. It's in the government then, the incentivization for the other crops. Then only this so-called sustainable agriculture the dream can be a reality, right?
Yes.
Alright, thank you so much.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And now I invite, I think Pushkar is absent, so I invite Gopi Swaminathan. Do we have? Yes.
Can you see my presentation?
It is.
Thank you. So at the outset, very good afternoon to all, and thank you for the opportunity given by CIMP in this national conference. The title is Artificial Intelligence and Predictive Analytics, a modern IT tools for rural development. So the general objective of the rural development is to strengthen the rural people, especially the poor, so that the rural households can realize their potential and thus improve their capacity. The rural people also require commitment to develop, organize, and govern themselves towards the attainment of a better standard of living, not only for themselves but also for the entire community. Every development function has a goal to be achieved to improve the quality of life, such as a rise in per capita income, literacy rate, life expectancy, and reduction in poverty rates. To attain such goals, planning and progressive dimension become perpetual feature of development administration. Planning requires designing the resources required for achieving the goal and the time in which it needs to be achieved. For the development functions to be effective and people-oriented, participation of people is emphasized in formulating and implementing plans and sharing the benefits derived. A system has to be formulated on planning with and for people rather than planning for people, addressing the needs of people and thus to empower them. The major programs for rural development is concerned with plans, policies, programs and projects which focus on nation building and socio-economic development. To achieve this, the administrative system also requires modernization of the administrative structure, capabilities of personnel, attitudinal and behavioral changes among the administrators. So, the development administration has an innovative dimension. It is flexible enough to design new methods, procedures, policies, which could save time, increase effectiveness and quality. The program devised by center state also requires the development administration to apply information technology, which will help them to evolve a system for efficient service delivery. Of course, we have portal management, GIS, IDRS, dashboards for various government programs, chaos-based information system, or some of the IT-based systems already in use. Government is leveraging on technology to expand the networks in rural areas. Integration of information and services facilitate internal governance as well as transparency of government to external access. But artificial intelligence will help them to improve that data analytics for rendering predictive analytics to various visionary schemes. Now let us see a few Government of India programs for rural development. The most Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushal Yojana provides placement-linked skill development training to rural poor youths and skill development to rural self-employment and training institutes provide skilling, thereby enabling the trainee to take bank credit and start his own or her own micro enterprise. Some more are housing for all, Pradhan Mantri Gram Swaraj Yojana, the provision of all whether rural connectivity for unconnected rural habitations and upgradation of existing roads, National Social Assistance Program for elderly, widow and disabled persons, Champasar Mukherjee Rural Urban Mission, SPMR, for providing urban amenities in rural areas for improvement of quality of rural life, Sansad Adarsh Gramin Yojana, where you get some aggregates, where you are able to see some aggregates. Basically, this aggregate data are related from the state portals or district portals to web services. On drilling down, you will see some more information this time. Now, what is missing or what could be the enhancement? One is the artificial intelligence, modern methods. Artificial intelligence helps in building efficiency in delivering services to the citizens to provide insights into how government schemes and policies are performed. AI technologies can collect and understand massive amounts of data to find trends, evaluate and anticipate the impact of scheme and detect abnormalities in evaluation in real time. This solution assists decision makers to know the progress of the scheme. It is very important to mention here that sifting through data is a monotonous task for a human, but to the AI, finding the needles of valuable insight in those hashtags of information is like that. So AI-based dashboards help to design better schemes and projects by being more citizen-centric and to determine likely future scenarios and recommend this course of action. That is, the current dashboards are more like a descriptive one, whereas AI-based dashboards can help them to develop predictive and prescriptive analysis. It also helps to gauge the sentiments of people of the government and understand the perceptions of and attitudes towards government policies. The major concerns like enhancing the effectiveness of regulatory and tax collection systems of government, formulation of right policies that factor the needs of the people, availability of free flow of information for increased trust between government and citizens. The AI alone has the capacity to understand the content of the implementation of the scheme based on the metadata and periodical data updated. So it is very crucial to define the metadata. As a result, you can define, identify, repeat the physical achievements automatically. Based on the physical achievements for a given financial assistance, you can categorize the physical achievements of different categories. It enables geographical analysis of physical achievements of any scheme, including analysis of whether the scheme was adequately implemented or not by the concerned agency. Easy user-friendly search enables the user to formulate his own queries or categories depending on analysis requirements and seek performance result allocation made, geographies from where they emanate and policy changes which can be introduced to create systemic improvements to address any grievances. It also helps to automatically handle and analyze the physical targets of the Gram Panchayats and to reduce human intervention, save time and bring more transparency in the implementation. I just tried to explain how more artificial intelligence technologies help them to make some practical, predictable analysis. Here I have taken the motor vehicle accidents happens in the national highways. Now let us talk about the predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is another area which leverages the strength of the combination of data mining, machine learning, and statistical modeling. In the dashboard, it can help the decision makers predicting village requirements based on the available data on infrastructure, set right measures to be taken using anticipating trends to inform operational tasks like provisioning of risk assessment using predictive analytics on the literacy rate, mortality rate during implementation of immunization programs and adequate infrastructure for education. By collecting data that is then fed into the predictive models, district authorities can better position themselves to be proactive instead of reactive. The more data that is being fed into the predictive analytics system, the more robust the analytics becomes, and hence all such dashboards, if move their operation into a unified cloud platform that can capture disparate data from variety of sources. Nowadays, APIs and web services are available to have collaborative databases. And thanks to their unified cloud platform, which is being offered in all the Government of India ministries. Predictive analytics can help rural governance to address the potential issues before they cause significant problems, better serve village amenities, improve planning. Now let us take some use cases of predictive analytics in rural villages. District can use predictive analytics to better respond to major emergencies, which what we have seen in the recent history. Avoid loss of planes. Predictive analytics is used in the transportation to predict when vehicles and transit infrastructure will need maintenance. This is another key area. In rural India, people heavily depend upon the buses for connectivity. Whether it is used for routine operations like financial planning or extraordinary circumstances like emergency management during major events, predictive analytics has a platform which are illustrating likely outcomes, identifying where needs must be met and what is the immediate requirement.
May I request you to kindly conclude?
Can I proceed?
Kindly conclude. It's 13 minutes already.
Yeah. I'll just touch up in just complete in a few minutes.
Alright.
Artificial intelligence in GIS is another very key area where we have the potential of applying artificial intelligence. And then decentralization and digital and data. Decentralization is to bring the increasing power back to the hands of local government agencies so that they have the capacity and capacity to deliver. The kind of data impact element in the decision-making process is used across many local government to drive the transformation. So a predictive model is a simulation of the hypothesized explanation of the process and is used to predict the current state of the study. I'll take a few use cases of AI. A villager can take a picture of an infected crop with even more cost-effective camera and they can upload it into the central portal. The inbuilt intelligence system powered by AI engine can be developed to analyze and identify the pest and send the remedial measure as a text message in local language to the farmer's phone back. The app can be developed for all the Indian languages so that farmers get the assistance in regional language. Agriculture robots are being developed by companies to handle basic agricultural jobs. Technology can reduce the amount of chemicals sprayed and consequently reduce the expenditure of herbicides per crops. AI helps in reduction of costs per meter per crop. Conversational AI is a form of virtual assistants, chatbots, and whiteboards. It has to get popularity nowadays, and the rural development industry have to take this part very seriously because conversational AI is very popular and because it's templates. Now it is used in augmenting the system to automate the task of answering user queries. Now I'll conclude. Most of the dashboards for various programs are made available in central portals to the ministries. These portals are available both in cloud technologies. What these portals can do is these portals can be provided with AI as service. It provides ancillary services, AI analytics as service. This would help the states to provide necessary reports and information on villages about the implementation of the program, as well as providing predictive analytical solutions based on the existing conditions as well as future. The authorities can also plan the implementation by focusing on resolving the problems highlighted by substitutes. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Gopi. I don't think we have any questions here because this is purely conceptual. We listed the advantages, but there doesn't seem to be any research question or anything. So we'll move on. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the next presenter. Nisha.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Very much, yes.
And green economy and hello everyone. I am Nisha Malhotra.
No,
Research.
no presentation. No. Share.
आप presentation share कीजिए.
Is it shared? I already shared it. Are you able to see that?
No, we cannot.
Okay, I am sharing.
Yes.
Now you are able to?
Yes.
Sustainability growth and about the green development. As Rana sir already told us about the sustainability growth and appropriate technology related to conserve our resources. And of course, Sunil sir also the chief general manager of NAVAR help us to know about the NAVAR that helps rural area as well as about the nanotechnology, the various scheme that was started by the government, that is PM Islamic Command Yojana and a Fasal Bima Yojana. I want also to conclude some of the topics related to green economy and its benefits for the youth. Hello everyone, I am Nisha Malhotra. Now, green economy. What is green economy? We know that academics who just hold our nation, an economy that aims to reduce environmental risk and ecological scarcity and promote sustainable development without harming the environment is known as green. As picture behind my background image also shows that we should move or we should develop, but not by harming our nature. By just do the sustainable growth, do the development with the proper arrangement of the environment. It includes analysis of economical impact, of environmental degradation, natural resources, depletion, as well as identifying economical benefit. So the leading, so how it was came, the term came. It was the leading environmentalist of the United Kingdom who prepare a blueprint related to development of economy should be least affected to the norm. The term is green economy. And first it was coined by the group of leading environmental economists in 1989. So, next is, these are the notable initiatives taken by various countries regarding the green economy. What is that? There are renewable energy in China, Kenya, feed in Paris, Uganda, organic agriculture, Brazil, sustainable urban, rural, and many more. So, where we are, green economy in India. As we know, India is gifted with a huge natural resource to keep it different from the economy across the globe. Now, we already faced the pandemic that is COVID, toughen the link of health environment and the economy. Whether we have to take care of our health or our economy. But rising pollution and contamination cause major factors for rising our environmental problems. Human activities which affect our natural environment indifferently. The rising amount of air, water, and soil pollution are caused by urban areas, etc. So how we overcome? You know what? There are closer to 15 degrees Celsius targeting gas of 26 national conference of party COP26 in November last. So PM, there are so many initiatives happening by various parties or organizations, but I have put several views on that. So PM Modi proposed scheme Panchamitra. Panchamitra is a traditional method. Active. It also means five in area. Panchamitra biodiversity, reduce environmental pollution prevention can reduce environmental damage. By using renewable energy sources also contribute to increase economic growth. These are the benefits of green economy. About finding, the major finding of the green economy is the overgrowth of economic income and job and environmental sustainability. It's not only sustainability of the environment but also creating more and more jobs. Cost of environmental degradation of US dollar 80 billion annually and equivalent to 5.7 GDP in 2020. However, for all countries shifting to green economy, one of them set the economy at the center of generating sustainability. It requires major economies, wide structure and technological change. So, what are the challenges? Transitions to green economies are time-consuming and will reduce constant vigilance and effort. Development of, because it's a new method, or so it's difficult for upcoming days. But we will sure that we will achieve these onto the success. Development of new green industry and their technology will be expensive. These are the challenges. Environmental friendly products and green are more expensive than conventional products. New academicians needs to be developed and gradually improve the cost, which will require lot of work, constant effort, extra time, and highly educated academics. So, new invention and discovery require in-depth research and big investment calls for large sum of money, which may increase growth of capital. So, next is what are the suggestions? Two more points are only done, and after that I continue. So, what are the suggestions? A 10% certain particle emission, 24 billion in the 10%. According to SNIDE, a significant decrease in CO2 would be a co-benefit that will be beneficial and perhaps multiple. Hope you all understand about that. Let's conclude this topic. So we conclude by saying that green economy is definitely beneficial. However, there are certain struggles to go through. However, these challenges can be overcome by plans to have a better sustainability. It will also help to eradicate poverty and extend effective resistance and enhance our natural resources such as forest, soil, water, and different environmental factors, which are very important for the rural and urban populations. As for green economy, substitute clean energy and free less carbon technology for fossil fuels which affect climate change, creating decent environment. In developing countries must be allowed to move at their own pace for creating an international market. Of course, I just also with the environmental sector to change the technology of sustainability and creating an international market and legal infrastructure. The green economy is the need of the hour and is very essential and helpful for our present and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Nisha, and thank you everyone, all the presenters, all the participants here. We have reached the end of this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does democracy improve the quality of life across country analysis? This paper has been co-authored with Atul Kumar, who is an MPhil scholar at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Okay, so this presentation starts with introduction of this whole democracy and development debate, then what methodology we have taken, then results and discussions from our empirical analysis, and then conclusion of the study. Then I want to start this slide with this presentation is a famous quote of Amar Sen, who is an Indian Nobel laureate, who said no famine has ever taken place in the history of the world in a functioning democracy. So through this line, Professor Sen has highlighted the importance of functioning of democracy in an development journey of any country, or this quote highlighted the importance of institution and the governance style in the development of any country or any nation. So this presentation, I just want to highlight one highlighted by Clara Bolt and others. And there is also a consequences that democratic country may react slowly in short term. After the COVID-19 break, like however the non-democratic countries or the countries having the low democratic score, as highlighted by the EIU Economic Intelligence Unit Democracy Index. So this study attempts to review the democracy development debate after the COVID-19 outbreak. So there is a brief literature review that we have presented that democracy is beneficial for human development. This is a very widespread debate. So several authors have highlighted that democracy induces human development, and democracies allocate fewer resources to military spending and devote more resources in provisioning of public goods such as education, health, and so on. That drives the development. Like when we talk about the human development, like UNDP highlighted it in the three dimensions: education, health, and the labor force participation. So democracy. So there is other debate that like public participation is advantageous for the outcomes of social issues, and there is also one correlation that democratic political system and higher level of human development, democracy does not, however, in terms of the countries outside the OECD, the democracy does not have a significant impact on the variety of economic development indicators that one author has highlighted. So what is our research question? So the research question is that does democracy rule result in an improvement in the standard of living for its citizens? And the other one is that is there a disparity in the level of human development between countries that are located in different income brackets and regions? So what methodology we have taken? So for this study we have taken the OLS regression technique as an econometric approach, and that shows the linkage between democracy and quality of life. Here the quality of life that has been measured by the inequality adjusted human development index, that is the independent variable in this case. Then we have measured the democracy index by the score of the democracy index of that has been published by the Economic Intelligence Unit. So here IHDI, which is the dependent variable for our model, then democracy index is the independent variable. And here the LM, the orange part, LI, LM, UM and HI, that is the dependent variable that accounts the income dummies, like for lower income countries, lower middle income countries, upper middle income countries, and the higher income countries. Then the other part is for the region dummies, and here is the explanatory variable. So here are the details of variables and data sources. We have taken variables from Human Development Report, Economic Intelligence Unit, World Development Indicators, and World Bank Analytical Classifications for income dummies. So what we have found? So in this result, we have found that the level of democratic countries, the democracy score is positively associated with the level of human development in the country, and also we have found two variables which have been omitted from this model due to the problem multilinearity, and also this model has found the problem heterozygoticity, so that we have taken the robust standard errors to eliminate that problem. So the R square of the model is 93%. It means that this model explains the 93% variations in the Human Development Index due to the level of democracy score. So this study entails that the transition towards democracy would improve the level of human development across the globe. Democracy has an effect on human development by leading to an increase in social spending. So the more democratic nation is, the more opportunities citizens have to participate in the governance of the nation. So what we have concluded, this study supports the linkage, the positive linkage between level of EIU, democracy index, and the IHDI. Then democracy fosters economic development in the list of countries in the analysis. For this analysis, we have taken the data for 128 countries. So democracy induces development in long run, while authoritarian government may act effectively in cases of emergency, just like what we have seen in the cases of emergency or war and so on. Thanks. That's all from my side. These are the references. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Dr. Jayadis Banerjee, Company Associate, SLG Polymer Limited. I am going to discuss my article in briefly due to time limit. Appropriate technologies for rural India. As we know, India is an agriculture. Over a period of time has been perceived to exploit natural resources faster than could be renewed. Being a developing country, agriculture is the primary source of income in many parts of India. Government next page. Technological change in the agriculture. On human-based, machine-based. Technological progress in agriculture. Technological progress in agriculture. Progress in agriculture. 1974, active ingredient Roundup herbicide was released. 1975, rotary combines are introduced. 1982, first genetically modified plant cell. 1994, satellite technology advances farming. 1996, the GMO for crops had become commercially available to the people. 2000, software and mobile devices that were created help farmers get better harvests. 2015 data revolutionized farming potential. These are the some advanced machine uses in cultivation. Cultivator, rotary tiller, combined harvester, plow, baler. Agriculture. Agriculture, now the important is this. Agriculture Technology Management Agency, C1 state. Agriculture Technology Project NATP was initiated in India with World Bank support in the year 1998 and phase-wise at Mahatma were established in pilot project district. ATMO was considered a dynamic instrument of introducing major changes in the agriculture research and extension system of the country, besides developing their capabilities to meet future challenges. The project was initiated by Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. The project implemented 28 districts covering 7 states, with Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Himachal Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha and Punjab over a period of 5 years, which was further extended up to June 2005 with the consequence of the World Bank. The extension component termed as innovations in the technology designations overseas in integrated delivery level is being pilot tested in 7 participating states. After visiting few places at C1 districts and found technological changes in the agriculture technology, advanced and modified agriculture machine has used for property and cultivation and labeling. Visiting area is Merwa, Gutni, Nautan, Andhra, Jiradei, Baradia, Siwan Sadar, Raghunathpur and Siswan, Darauli and Hasanpura. These are the important places of agriculture with much advanced machine used for cultivation. And also we found that vegetables growing are very huge in that places. There was a time when vegetables are exported from different states, but there is no need for the such systems as implemented by the farmers of that places. General information of the Siwan district. Siwan district is one of the western districts of the state bordering the state of Uttar Pradesh. The district occupies an area of 2,219 square kilometers, covering 2.4% of the state's land area. Irrigation practices. As for the available statics area is irrigated by different sources. Example, canal tubes, wells, dug wells, etc. Climatic conditions. The district was generally humid climate except during summer, which is rather dry. The winter season starts from November to February and summer from March to May. And rainy season extends from June to September, October being the transitional month. Discussions. Farming methods have evolved massively over the years, from basic handheld tools of the modern sophisticated machinery we use today. Farmers are now embracing modernity, which has enabled them to achieve the highest potential in whichever farming activity they choose to undertake. Technological advancement have permitted every industry across the world, and agriculture is no exception. Importance of technological changes in agriculture. Today, Today's agriculture routinely uses sophisticated technologies such as sensor devices, machines, and GPS technology. Farmers no longer have to apply water, fertilizers, pesticides uniformly across entire fields. Instead, they can use the minimum quantities required and they target very specific areas or even treat individual plant differently. Higher crop productivity, decreased use of water, fertilizer, pesticides, which is in turn keep food prices down, reduced impact on natural ecosystem, less runoff chemicals in rivers and groundwater, instead worker safety. Our such are discussed the General Manager Sir Sunil Kumar also discussed about that matter. Conclusions. Now we are going to conclude software and online data collection about the relevant outcomes of adoption of the particular technology. Economical and social changes are essential in the rural and agricultural sector after the technological advancement. Farmers are immensely benefited. Also, information and communication technologies in agriculture is benefited to farmers. Strategies, policies, and proper plans of actions for the implementation and use of the formation and communication of technologies framework in agriculture need to be formulated. We can say that emergence of technologies has provided benefits to farmers. And these are the references: DG Kishan, Agriculture Department of Bihar, Kisan Suvidha Kendra, and DCB Gyan Kendra Sawan Pulhat Siwan, Bihar Agriculture Management Training Center. Thank you. I am from company associate. I'm not going to what I want to say.
Which organization? Working in which organization?
Okay, company associate. Company associate. Company.
Your workplace is Patna.
No, my workplace is Olbia.
So you are presenting as something about Siwan district.
Yeah, I have concentrated about Siwan district.
Right? You are using why Siwan district?
Because I have seen the all over the India. Okay, but now the different machines, advanced machines have been implemented that places, and the vegetables and food and grains. Yeah, I'm going to see. That places is now very developing. Just the chairman sir or general manager sir already I will prize for that place, Siwan and Saran district.
Now,
and they are highly resistant to disease and other things. But the study was to confirm whether these findings are fine, and we found something that is truly shocking of its nature. So I would like to start now. So the name is in India. We stand at the 7th place in overall banana production in India. Around 30,000 hectares of banana plantation, and total banana production of banana in Bihar is slightly less than 2 million metric tons per year. Bihar has approximately 90 million plants, of which 70% plants are of sucker type, not of the type. Major banana growing region is Bhagalpur, Purnia, Vaishali. I'm sure most of the people know. Issues and challenges that are there: non-availability of high-quality tissue culture plants, non-availability of post-harvest infrastructure, low access. I'm sure there's a lot of issues that have been discussed already in the other presentations. The major issues that are understanding of the benefits and challenges posed to a banana farmer by these interventions is very limited because there have not been many studies in this area, in this sector. So objective of the study was to understand challenges and opportunities associated with tissue culture plant intervention in the two blocks Nogachia and Thana Bikpur of Bhagalpur district in Bihar. So I need to outline here that my native place is Bhagalpur, and I have been in the banana field since my birth. Whenever we went to Nogachia, the proper nanny that I have is on the other side of Ganga. जैसे पटना और हाजीपुर है वैसे भागलपुर and Nogachia is there, and there's a lot of banana plantation is there since last 30 years or so. So methodology, there was participatory action research. PAR was employed with 35 banana farmers from 2 blocks, and there's an agri-tech startup Bihar Banana which I have done in 2018. I have started. This was the implementing organization under which we conducted this study. The study involved planning, action, observation, and reflection stages. The study time was between June 2018 to August 2022. So most of the study and the field work was conducted in 2018 only, but we did not have all that data jotted down. I mean, the data was jotted down, but the result of the study and the paper wasn't published. This is the first time that we are presenting this paper. So the study findings. Studied farmer considered the size of fruit loom of Robusta, which is the sucker type, to be larger than that of tissue culture plants, which is exactly opposite of what tissue culture and genetically modified plants and their producers tend to claim. According to study farmers' response, native sucker is less susceptible to diseases, which is also opposite to what the tissue culture and GMO plants producers like to claim. Overall, farmers studied region believe that their income per unit area has decreased after the usage of tissue culture plants. So we'll go into detail. Banana production in India, as you can see, we are number 1, 29.1 million metric tons. Second is China. So we are 225% more than the second number. Bihar produces approximately 6%. We have already discussed that. Around 30,000 hectares of plantation is in Bihar, and we are on the 7th number. Major banana producing districts in Bihar. So this whole data, 2018 data from OPT. I think some things might have changed, but for a reference. So main issues I'll go fast. Agriculture inputs. So there's need for better agricultural inputs such as seeds, chemicals, and other technology. Post-harvest losses. Many people have already discussed here. That there's a lot of post-harvest losses to the tune of 30 to 40% of the total crop production. Also, since banana is a highly perishable and very soft quality of product, the fruit and the skin kind of tends to get disrupted very fast. Even if you're taking it out raw, and if you're just putting it on the ground before loading it in the vehicle, it kind of gets bruised, and that lowers the fruit quality. Technology inputs in use. So these are some technology inputs that were in use when we met these farmers. Seedlings, Robusta and tissue culture are being used. Pesticides, a lot of fertilizers are being used of almost all big companies like Yara, Tata, Bayer, and other big companies. Some farmers have started using irrigation management, such as they are not doing flood irrigation. Some have tried drip irrigation and furrow making and such kind of technologies. Appropriate technology inputs. So these are some appropriate technology inputs that we found could be used for better agricultural inputs such as tissue culture, drip irrigation, fruit covers. Fruit covers is just a plastic sheet that can be wrapped over banana so that the insects cannot puncture the fruit, and there are black spots on banana which develops, so that can be reduced. Packing crates, reefer vans, satellite imagery, mobile apps, cold chain, solar energy, lots of things are there to be discussed. For better post-harvest management, we can have improved infrastructure, cold chains, packaging material, or education on better practices. So going on to the main study, the methodology was participatory action research. I don't think there is any need to explain this. So it's the kind of research in a social situation. The research entities are also participating in the activity. And it goes in 4 steps: plan, act, observe, and reflect. So we did plan and study in May 2018. Act was in 2019 when we started doing business with Kyoto Agro Limited. Observation was last year and reflection, which is the result of which is this paper, has come out right now. So Kevatar Agro Limited and Bihar Banana had a meeting in February of 2018 for procurement agreement of raw bananas. Kevatar Agro Limited is a very big FMCG company in Kolkata, and they are the manufacturing company of Daily Water and a lot of Pepsi brands such as Maaza and all. So they manufacture for other companies. KL had planned to set up a ripening chamber in Patna, which is right now in Nagarpur. It's set up already, and procure bananas from Bhagalpur and local areas for Patna and Siliguri fulfillment chambers. So Siliguri also has a ripening chamber there. A letter of intent with this effect was exchanged between Mr. Jayanta Chakrabarti, representing KAL, and myself, representing Bihar Banana. And that was in presence of Mr. Radha Mohan Singh at his residence in Motihari on 8th of April 2018. So a survey was designed to ensure that proper data collection about the state of technological understanding and interpretation within banana farmers of the region has been developed. This included an in-field observation of state of banana fruits, interaction with banana farmers, and recording this interaction for data collection purposes. So Bihar Banana, under my leadership, was doing all of this research for Kevatar Agro Limited because they had to procure bananas from our region. So about Bihar Banana, it's an agricultural technology input startup, and we have deployed various small projects since 2018. We have been working. This is the letter of intent exchange between Mr. Jayanta Chakrabarti in the center, myself, and in the presence of Radha Mohan Singh at his residence. These are some of the articles that have been covered in various newspapers related to our work. And we did a lot of awareness campaigns with farmers to let them know what kind of technology is needed, how can they improve their productivity and so act. So going deep into the study, 35 banana growers were selected from two blocks, 19 from Navachia and 16 from Khanapur. So they are just adjacent blocks. As soon as you travel towards the other side of Ganges from Vikramshila Setu, these two blocks you will find. And these farmers participated in awareness campaigns using media-based appropriate technology inputs. So we brought them village meetings, we had a lot of them. We had a lot of questions related to their practice and what are they doing in banana, where the knowledge gap existed and how to improve the cultivation. So qualitative analysis of interview data concerned with knowledge gap in different areas such as harvesting, post-harvesting method, etc. They were found out. The observations that we did, banana farming in over 37,000 acres at Navachia and 30,000 acres at Khanapur. So these are really big banana producers. 30,000 farmers are directly engaged in banana production in Bhagalpur district alone. Dehpur is also known as banana bowl for cultivating the most fragrant varieties of banana. Orchards of banana at all these villages, so these Milki, Jhandapur, Vikrampur, Somarsa, all these villages are in Khanapur only. There can be added benefit to banana fiber production and yarning because of Bhagalpur's silk industry, which is very close. So if we are, it's an added thing. We are not going deep into that, but there is a possibility of getting into banana fiber as well. Some more observations. Many farmers who started growing bananas 4 decades ago in Navachia are now turning their backs on it. Because of various problems, they have started planting lychee plantations. So there's already 3,000 acres of lychee plantation which have replaced banana plantation of older generations. Farmers have reported that soil-borne Panama bed, Zika fungus disease, they are causing a lot of damage. And banana cultivation is said to get a flip with Kevatar Agro Limited. So this is from one of the articles that came out back in 2018 when Kevatar was planning to come to Bihar. So as per reflection, the age of banana farmers average for the farmers. So here you can see that more than half of the farmers have already taken up tissue culture, and there is a small percentage who are doing both. So these are the issues. You can see disease and pests are the more than 50% of farmers have identified that. Study findings and conclusion. Studied farmers consider the size of fruit. Anyway, So the conclusion, there is a huge scope in plantation, post-harvest management and profitability through food processing in banana, especially in Bihar. Also because lots and lots of banana production have been done in Maharashtra, MP, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, and as a matter of fact, banana cannot remain to be viable for more than 10-15 years in one particular location. It will start getting diseases, it will give low input. You cannot have the same crop for a very long time in one place, right? So we need to always find new areas and new things, newer land for banana. So Bihar is at a very profitable stage right now because all these western states where banana used to be very highly produced, they are now coming down. But while we have the capability to grow our production even more. Lots of FMCG companies have come down. So with my personal effort, I have brought in Inter Agro Limited. In 2019, I had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Mihir Mohanta, CEO of Mother Dairy Ranchi. And a lot of other FMCG companies have come, they have visited our fields and talked to our farmers. Banana plantation and cultivation with scientific basis has brought wonders to the farmers of Karnataka and Maharashtra already, which we await to be seen here. However, due to excessive use of fertilizers and rampant wastage of groundwater, the banana plantation of Western India states have been dwindling. They are coming down. We can learn from their mistakes and not do the same here. It has been now turn of Bihar, same. There is a huge need of awareness creation amongst farmers and huge shortage of technological inputs in farms of surveyed area. So there are so many farms doing banana plantation, but it's all in a very conventional way. So there is no technology input. Some more conclusion. A lot of scope can be seen in future with available sustainable appropriate technology inputs. Farmers can be the net winner with advent of latest internet-based apps, AI, ML, and quantum computation and all such of things. Even with the usage of most basic technologies such as better seeds and fertilizers, remain far-fetched dream for the farmers of surveyed region. Although in close proximity to the nearest town and capital of Bihar, it's about 200 kilometers only from here. The region sees shortage of quality inputs for modern agriculture. So some more slides regarding Bihar banana. So I'm the founder. Avi Karan has been an advisor since long now. We work on technology management and sales. So it's kind of a full stack technology company. We have advisory stage. So first of all, a farmer gets associated with us. We go to his farm, we do some soil testing and we find out what is the required thing. Then implementation of farm technology, whether it is suitable for banana or for mango or for any other crops. We decide that. And once the farmer has been through the production, then we also help them in sales and revenue growth measures. So we actually do sales for the farmers. 300 farmers have been working closely with Bihar Banana since last 3 years. About 150 farmers in banana production, 100 in lychee, and over 50 farmers in mango production of the same region, Nogatia and Thana. Trade relationships with over 100 traders and all agents in metropolis. So last year and this year in 2022 also, we happened to send over 100 metric tons of lychee from Thana, Bigpur and Nogatia area to places like Bombay, Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, Coimbatore and most of the South Indian cities where the cost recovery is quite high. In 2021-22, the entirety of material, including all banana, mango, and lychee, was about 700 metric tons for our company. We have a vision of revolutionizing agriculture in Bihar through usage of technology and IoT. That's it. Thank you. Any questions?
Banana farmer, they are associated, but the conclusion which you represented are not very related to what you studied, what you found in the ground.
No, the last chapter, the Bihar Banana chapter was extra, not part of the paper. I'll bring you to the objective of the study. So the objective of the study was to understand whether tissue culture is actually helpful or not. So when Caventer Agro Limited came here, they had this in their mind that West Bengal farmers are doing tissue culture bananas and they are doing great. Because our bananas are like 40 kgs alone. आपके यहाँ का banana 20 किलो के ऊपर का होता नहीं है. So we went to the field. We asked the farmers, why are you not using tissue culture?
You studied with that 150 farmer.
We did a lot of, we are associated with more than 500 farmers, but the study in itself is only of 35 farmers, 16 from one block and 19 from the other provincial block. So the study, this study itself is just of a 35 farmers selected group. All of these farmers were micro, so they had less than 2 acres. The survey in itself was done as a participatory action research, and all these the selection for survey was done by observational methods. So we went to these villages. We first observed and we found out that there are many banana plantations. We identified those banana plantations which were doing good. We also identified those banana plantations which were not that good. So we kind of balanced, say 2 or 3 people from each village, someone who is doing very good and someone who is not doing very good, just by observation of the field itself.
This conclusion, if you can present in better way, like if you go to your conclusion.
I have it in my paper. There was not much space in the. You can open it.
It's okay, but the conclusion which you presented here are much general. So many issues you have included.
Yes.
But you have dealt with the specific issues with the few farmers. So please highlight those issues that you have.
Yes, it was found that these 35 farmers whom we studied, they found out that the tissue, more than 50%, 60% of them are using tissue culture. But as a personal experience, they are telling that tissue culture is not that fruitful for us. It doesn't have that big a size. It is not giving us good disease resistance. So these issues, they were found out. And they were, yes.
Identified issues were from 55 farmers.
Yes.
These farmers, they do only banana farming.
There are a few people, so these are very small farmers. Most of these farmers are less than 2 acres. So I don't think they are doing anything else. There are few farmers who do some sort of vegetable cropping in between the banana in the first phase when the banana plants are short. But these are like small landholders. I'm definitely associated with larger, bigger farmers as well, but they do have that kind of technology input for their farms. I wanted to see what is the state of banana farming in the small farms. So they are getting soil, could be, it could be, but I'm not sure. I think the bigger issue in tissue culture not performing is the quality of the sourced plants itself, because it is coming through a channel of there's a bidding process, and then these labs come and then they have government providing them 15 rupees only for the plant, and then they have to give a kickback to the officer. So they would give you a 5 rupee plant for 15 rupees in the government sector, and the same lab, if I go approach them, they are going to give me the same plant for 19 rupees, and that will be a guaranteed plant which will give me a 50 kg fruit. So the same lab is doing all this, but you can't blame them. It's the system, how it works. Thank you.
To provide agriculture assistance and support to farmers. While they both brothers are coming from agriculture background, so they know that what is the condition of farmers in Bihar. So the problem faced by Bihar, faced by the farmers of Bihar is they have the marginal lands, the traditional way of farming, inadequate storage facility, financial constraints, problem of middleman, inadequate marketing and processing. So while finding these problems which is prevailing in Bihar, they come up with these 5 services, that is storage facility, buying and selling, promotion of zero budget and natural farming, farming technical assistance and financial assistance. So what is the challenges basically they are facing while providing these services, that the farmers are resistant to change. So basically whatever they are providing services, they don't want to take. Like the agriculture encourage farmers to cultivate those spices and herbs that can be marketed at a premium price to make cultivation profitable. But the farmers, they don't see the profit. They basically see the mass production. They used to produce the potato or the onions or wheat. The Aman and Ronak, the rest of their team spent almost 3 years convincing farmers. The farmer opposed the change and were hesitant to adopt new technology for cultivation and other farm-related activities. To lure the farmers towards organic farming and the use of new technology, the team took up the farming activity on the proposed pattern. They have for 3 years they by themselves they have started doing agriculture, cultivating these spices and herbs, and by looking the profits which the Raman and Ronak was earning. After 3 years, around 127 farmers registered themselves with this company. So these are the registered farmers. Yes. So now the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic at the beginning of 2020 radically changed the business landscape. So they basically motivate the farmers to cultivate the herbs and grow the herbs and spices. But the COVID-19 situation has, after the lockdown, the government suddenly hit by the lockdown imposed by the government suddenly hit the agriculture due to restriction imposed on the movement of man material and the closure of shops and markets. There was a sharp decline in the demand of herbs, putting new challenges in front of them. So after that, the crisis promoted the company to meeting the demand of goods and services. After the assessment available resources, the team decided to focus on the manufacturing of lemongrass herbal. Whatever they have cultivated, what they have grown, with that product, they come up with a product that is the lemongrass herbal tea. So now the global tea market. So the global tea market valued at 55,144 million in 2019, and it's projected to grow to 68,950 million by 2027 at a CAGR of 6.6. And in context to herbal tea market, the global market size was 3,289.67 million in 2020, and it is estimated to grow at a 4.89% CAGR to 2028, resulting in a 4,877.80 million market size. So these are the industrial background. That what is going in global market, in global tea market. So herbal tea is derived from the herbs, dry leaves, seeds, grasses, fruits, flowers, nuts, spices and roots of various plants. So tea consumption pattern in India. So as we know that Indians can't imagine their life without tea. So tea is an integral part of Indian families and evidenced by. So now with the consumption paradigm shift, they have these are the purchase behavior of Indian consumer. So in the Indian market, the consumer relied greatly on the convenience, proximity, word of mouth, retail, consumption and price, thus making the tea buying a low involvement purchasing process. So basically the tea is low involvement product. So basically the consumer wants to purchase by near retail stores. According to the survey, 72% of the Indian consumers are willing to buy from a local retailer stores. Placing the product in local retail shops solves two significant problems. Customers don't have to wait for a product till delivery. Retailers often were well known to and trusted by the consumers in the local area in which they work. The companies hope that the high level of interpersonal trust between retailers and consumers will translate into confidence in brand and the retail sales. Now the competition in front of agriculture. So basically the tea industry is highly penetrated in India, and the most of the tea market was dominated by major players such as Tea Global Beverages Limited, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Organic India Private Limited, Gujarat Tea Processor and Packers Limited, and others. So these influencer brand like the Tately, Organic India, Lipton, and others are already capturing the market with loyal customers and a strong distribution channel. So to strengthen the distribution footprint, these brands are using both traditional as well as e-commerce platform to reach every hook and corner. The second largest brand in the world, Tata Tea Limited, has a strong distribution network in India with approximately 1.7 million retail outlets. Other significant competitors, HUL distribution model ensures the product availability through 0.3 million outlets in India. Now the agri-federal strategy. The first one is the product portfolio. So the agri-federal product is this. Before launching the product, agri-federal has done most companies spend a huge amount of money to expand their distribution channel. So agri-federal till June 2021, agri-federal has sold almost 13,500 packets of lemongrass tea through different channels, and through direct marketing channels they sold around 3,600 packets, and 9,300 packets sold through the distributor network. And the remaining packets they used as in promotional samples. And the company had a presence in almost 14 states, and to meet the requirement of the customers, they selected an Indian Post as delivery partner. So now the dilemma of the case. So the introducing a new product like lemongrass tea in the market can be challenging and expensive. Being in an early phase of entrepreneurship with limited fund had restricted them from utilizing the established distribution channel, because such channels were costly and required a heavy security deposit, whereas such distribution channels would extend the outreach of the company product. On the other hand, a focus on a direct sales of the product would be more profitable but limit the market penetration. Raman and his team urgently need to decide whether to invest in a new channel or strengthen the existing one, or use a combination of channels. However, with a new channel, additional funding is needed to cover the supervision, distribution and transportation costs. Therefore, it is important to decide upon a suitable distribution channel strategy for the company in light of prevailing business conditions. So these are the research questions. These are the case questions. Thank you.
Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Anand Singh, Director CIMP, to present the certificate to the participants. Our first presenter was Dayalan B and Sridhar L. Paper title was Building N-Dimensional Soil Nutrients Spectral Library through in situ laboratory and space-borne hyperspectral imagery for consistent investigation of soil health. Next paper presenter was Viravi and Lokesh Jashra, Modern IT Tools for Rural Development. Next paper presenter was Nisa Malhotra, topic Green Economy and its Impact. These were the virtual presenters, and for physical presenters, first participant was Atul Kumar and Nitish Nigam. Topic: Does democracy improve the quality of life across country and Next paper presentation was by Vision Challenges and Opportunities associated with Tissue Culture Technology, West Banana Plantation in Bihar. And last presentation was by Monica, AgriFeeder, a one-stop solution provider to farmers. time for the announcement of Best Paper Award. So, Best Paper Award goes to Dayalan B and Sridhar N for presenting paper on the topic Building N-Dimensional Soil Nutrients Spectral Library to In Situ Laboratory and Space-Borne Hyperspectral Imaginary for consistent investigation of soil health. That's all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you.